After a year of fairly disastrous test performances, India seemed to be back in a big way. Already 2-0 up in the series against arch-rivals Australia, India's batting continues to sparkle, and day 3 of the Mohali Test belonged to an entirely new player, Shikhar Dhawan. It's not easy to replace Virender Sehwag, but boy has he proven his ability. Dhawan, not out on 185, made the fastest ever century in Test cricket by a debutant, scoring his first 100 runs in just 85 balls. It was a convincing, classy innings from an aggressive, determined left-hand batsman. Great news for Indian cricket. Joining us now to discuss Shikhar Dhawan's innings and where India stand in the match, Sunil Gavaskar and Dean Jones. Sunny, the first question to you. You'd spoken about this on another program this evening about being in the zone. It just seemed that nothing that this man would do would not work. It just seemed that, I mean, maybe it's something divine. I don't know. I mean, you guys are the experts, but he was seeing the ball as big as a football from ball one. I mean, that's what we felt.
That is true. I think that's how it actually happens. When you walk out to bat, the bat feels good in your hand. The bat feels just right. It's not too heavy. The balance, everything feels right. Then when you ask the umpire for the guard, he gives you your guard and you take your stance to receive the first ball. It just feels that you're standing absolutely perfectly. There are occasions when you go out to bat when it just doesn't feel right. But when you get into the zone, everything just seems right. And the first ball you play, you get in the middle of the bat, and then you're off. And I think that is what happened with Shikhar Dhawan.
And Dean, being in this zone, you were telling me before we started, it's a few minutes in every. It's a few innings in just a few innings. It's a few minutes in a few innings in the lifetime of a batsman. It doesn't happen often at all.
Not too many times you see Sunil Gavaskar and myself and other greats. Well, I'll put myself in the great and Sunny's level, but I'm jealous of this young lad Dhawan, because to be in the zone is something you dream of. You just know exactly what length they're going to bowl the ball. You just know exactly what type of shot to play. This is the things that you dream of. And to have this in your first test, it's just unheard of. And then he started hitting balls early, and we thought, this has got to end soon. He can't hit the ball any better. And it just got better and better and better. And as Sunny said earlier, that when you play 100 tests like Sunny has, and he's played, he's got into the zone 6 to 8, 9 times. I remember Greg Chappell said he got into the zone, say, 5 times, around 5. For me, it was 4. Once only in a test match and 3 in ODIs. This guy is special to do that. And I bet you he sat in the chair and put his bat down and sat back and gone, what have I just done there? Yeah. What the hell have I just done there? Yeah. He's almost played outside of himself. Yeah. Now, it's be interesting to see how he picks this up now from 185, because he won't sleep tonight. He'll be dreaming about every shot he's played, and he'll be fighting 14,000 or 15,000 ways to find 15 to get his double 100.
All right. It's going to be difficult tomorrow, perhaps. I mean, mental resilience, I suppose, from this stage on, counts as much as before he scored his first run in Test cricket. Sunny, is this the most impressive century on debut that you have seen?
Yes, I think Virender Sehwag's century on debut and Sourav Ganguly's century on debut were also very, very impressive, because they came against really good quality bowling on overseas conditions where the ball was doing something, the bowlers were getting the ball to talk, and both Sourav and Viru, when they got centuries on debut, they played superbly. Nothing seemed to faze them. Their feet were moving right towards the pitch of the ball. They were forward and back very, very comfortably. So yes, I think those two were also impressive, but they didn't have the kind of shots that Shikhar played today. Shikhar played all round. There was that lapse shot of Steve Smith, which went virtually behind the wicketkeeper, and he middled it. So to be able to play right round the dial like Shikhar Dhawan has done is very, very rare. I think you go through a phase where you bat well, so you might play square and you might play in the V, but to be able to get it just behind the wicketkeeper, where you would see the first slip and the fine leg slip stand, from in that direction to also get runs, just tells you how much mastery he had over the Australian attack today.
Dean, tell us a little bit about his technique. We've seen Virender Sehwag being incredibly successful, but there's been lots that's been written about his lack of technique in certain instances. Did you see anything? Almost everything this man did was right. Did you see anything perhaps that he needs to work on in his technique, or does he really have it all for Test match cricket as an opener?
There's no doubt about when you look at Sunil Gavaskar and you look at Rahul Dravid and you look at Sachin Tendulkar, their game, they had all the shots, but I tell you what they did have. They had an unbelievable defence. And what I mean by forward defence, back defence, letting the ball go. He's going to have to learn that as he gets a little, well, he's pretty good now. He's got averages 50 in first class cricket, so he's done his apprenticeship. So he must have a half decent defence already, because success is based on defence. If you're any good at, that's 2/3 of your shots in your innings normally is your defence. So it's pretty good there. He's got a very high grip on the back, which is an interesting thing. Adam Gilchrist has had that. I remember Justin Langer, when he first started, had quite a low grip on the bat, and he saw Adam Gilchrist play, says, I want to bat like that, so he went to a high grip, and he ended up making many centuries for Australia and hit the ball very similar in certain spots to Dhawan as well, I might add, through covers and through mid-wicket and all that type of stuff. So very, very good player. Now all of a sudden, a couple of years ago, Indian cricket's going to go downhill. VVS Laxman's gone, Ganguly's gone, Rahul Dravid's gone, all these batters gone, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. And all of a sudden, Murali's put his hand up.
Pujara's
put his hand up. And this lad's put his hand up. See, you've got the talent, it's just when and the right time to actually bring them in.
Yeah. Sunny, if we were discussing this maybe a few months back, the mood was very different. No one really expected Indian cricket to sort of revive in the manner in which it has. These three talents, are we serious? Are we looking at three players who have the talent which a young Viru or a young Dravid or a young Ganguly had? In other words, could this be the beginning of a new start for Indian cricket?
I think yes. You could say that this could be the beginning of a new era in batsmanship as far as Indian cricket is concerned. And not to forget Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli is 23 or 24 years old, so he's pretty much with them as well. And not to forget Ravindra Jadeja, the way he's come on as a bowler on Indian surfaces. Yes, he might not get the same purchase overseas, but if he can keep on contributing with the wickets, and if he can keep on contributing even 30-40 runs down the order at number 7, India will have the nucleus of a very, very good side in the future.
Sari, just one of the shots which a lot of people felt quite really impressive, besides his offside stroke play, was his ability to hook the ball. We've seen so many openers avoid the hook, but this is a man who likes to hook the ball. He's really quick on the back foot when he makes that adjustment.
That is right. I think he likes the challenge of the short ball. The trick to play the short ball is to look it in the eye. The moment you take your eye away from the ball, you don't stare at that ball. When I say look it in the eye, you keep staring at the ball. Then you will never get hit, because your natural reflexes will come in, whether you're looking to play the attacking shot or whether you're looking to defend it. And I think he was doing that. He was looking that short ball in the eye and getting into position to play it along the ground and in front of square. Yes, this is not a hard bouncy pitch, and maybe on a hard bouncy pitch it might have a few issues. But when the guy is looking the ball in the eye, then he is going to be all right.
Dean, time's running out, or it may run out in this particular test match. Do you think India are in a position to potentially win this?
Well, the way they played today, they were absolutely fantastic. Just when the Aussies thought, oh, hang on, we've just made 400, we've got a couple of guys did really well, we've got a bit of confidence, and I have no doubt Michael Clarke would have taken his cap off and laid down. What the hell just happened there? Now we're up against it. We've got to keep it quiet. Now, if they keep batting in this same type of vein, they could be 150 in front by day 4. Yes. And they might even declare behind, because there's no doubt Dhoni wants to win this game. There's and Australia has to try to actually win this game as well, to try to keep the Border Gavaskar trophy. My big point is if India wins this, is it the Gavaskar Border Trophy or is it the Border Gavaskar Trophy?
Yeah, Sunny, would you like to answer that question? Does your name come first if we end up winning the series?
No, I think in every possible way, Alan Border's name comes first, whether we win it or not. For two very good reasons. He
it's
got
alphabetical,
more
yes.
than I did, and look at his initials, AB. AB always come before SG.
All right, Sunny, let's talk a little bit about Murali Vijay. Great match, last match, great match this time around. How is he similar and different from Shikhar Dhawan in his way of approaching his batting?
Well, because he's learned from his past mistakes. In Hyderabad, he gave himself a lot of time. The first session on the next day when he came into bat, he gave himself time, didn't score too many runs. He made up for it after lunch. And I think that is what he did even here today. He didn't get carried away by the fact that Shikhar was stroking the ball so well, didn't try to match him stroke for stroke, gave him the strike. What was also very impressive was the understanding both of them had between the wickets when they were running. There was none of the yes-no kind of situation. It was a very clear yes or a very clear no, and that does not lead to any misunderstanding. But what has been impressive about Murali Vijay is the way he is now looking to move his back foot. He's got to improve his back foot play, because that is where he can get into trouble, because his front foot movement is also not a forward movement towards the pitch of the ball unless he's playing the spinner. So when the ball does a little bit, then he can get into trouble. But he's tightening up over there, and his temperament is getting much better.
Dino, one final question to you. If you are Gautam Gambhir or you are Virender Sehwag, what are you thinking?
It's a worry. It's a big worry for Viru, particularly. I thought, well, how can he get back in? There's not too much first-class cricket to be played now until the South African tour at the end of the year. These boys make another 100 here. Sonny says we've got 4 or 5 tests under his belt now. Before they might even think about dropping Dhawan. So they're in a lot of trouble. But all Gambhir and these, particularly Gambhir, all he can do is just go out and keep making runs and get the opportunity. I don't know whether Gambhir could bat further down the middle order if needed. Young kids keep coming in and keep doing well. They're going to find it hard for getting spots. And that's the great thing about the Indian team. Kids get an opportunity, take it, and they've done it, and don't let the old guys back in. This is the new era, as you were talking before, and keep building it. Got a new captain, wants to bat at 6 and start to really use his presence as a batsman now, batting at 6. You've got a serious cricket team. Just got to find 2 bowlers. Ishant's been great here. Just got to find 2 other quicks here, particularly, I think, to do well overseas, and you're going to hurt some people.
Yeah. Sunny, any last thoughts about you on the future of players like Sehwag and Gambhir? Gambhir particularly still has a little bit of time on his hand. I mean, he's not all that old, I mean, in cricket.
Neither is Viru. I think what they need to do really is, because they have no real opportunity, is to capitalize on what the IPL provides for them. Out of 14 possible matches, they could get into the knockout and play 16. But say out of 14 possible matches, if they can get at least 7 or 8 scores of 50 plus and maybe the odd century in the T20 competition, they will keep themselves in the frame. And India could possibly go in, because it's going to be South Africa, India could possibly go in with 4 openers, and therein lies their chance as well. Get as many 50s as possible in the T20 competition in April and May.
All right, Sunny and Dino, thank you both very much for joining us. It's been a fantastic day for Indian cricket. Let's hope tomorrow is going to be as much fun. Thank you both very much for joining us.